Hello, and thanks for tuning in. I'm going to try YouTube's record function rather than the live stream for this one. So, what we're going to do is look at this watch band that I got from eBay and also the connectors for it. This is a Samsung Gear S2, and the gimmick on this is you've got to have these connectors which go on to the watch itself, and those allow you to connect the watch band to it. So the problem I noticed when I bought these ones in particular is that they had really cheap springs in them, and I had to replace them. So that's something you'll want to keep in mind. I took the ones off of the old rubber bands that come with it. They're like plastic rubber that go around. And I just had to unscrew that and put them in the back of this. It's kind of tedious. Something to keep in mind if you're going to be active with this watch. Then it's something you'll want to definitely reinforce. All in all, the watch is pretty nice. It does what it's supposed to do. But this is the watch band, and this is what they call a Milanese watch band, because I believe it's probably from Milan in France or something, or it's the style that's worn fashionably there. Not that I really care about such things. I wanted it because it's all metal, you see. And that means that the fixtures aren't going to break on me like they did on the original band that come on this. Which, the original one, again, the connector is similar, but the rubber starts to segregate from the metal bits when the rubber becomes worn out, and it will no longer adhere to your watch. That's not good, because, you want to keep your watch on when you're wearing it. So this was about 10 or 12 bucks. You can find all sorts of varieties of them. As you can see, you might be able to see, maybe I can refocus it a little bit. It's a metal mesh. It's kind of like chainmail in a way. And you can kind of get the fine detail of it there. You can probably see it better than I can even. But you get the idea. Let's click that on. All right, let's see if that actually worked. Probably not. Anyway, at least I can autofocus this way, or refocus, or whatever. So anyway, you get that idea. And the whole reason I brought it in is because it is really a neat little thing. It's got a magnetic clasp on it, which will stick to the thing, which is really handy if you're like me, and because of your blood pressure or salt intake or just day-to-day weight gain or weight loss, the circumference around your wrist changes perhaps from day to day, just a little bit, enough that the holes in a traditional watch band, aren't exactly where you want them, or there aren't enough of them, or you get the other sort that have the clasps on them that you can adjust a little bit, but then they're much more tedious, and they kind of snap together on top of themselves like that to hold it in place, and you can adjust that. That's still very tedious. And what I found with this is it's very simple to use. And the connectors they use here are also really simple. So first things first, this piece should be on there. And let's see, it's going to come around like that. So you'll want this, and typically it comes on it already, it just slipped off. But you're going to want both of those little indents facing one another on the same face. Because when you put it on the watch, that one's going to grab there, that one's going to grab there. And that's how it's going to work. Now, putting this together is actually really simple once you get these connectors on. Such that you pick these up, if your fingers will work for you. And you slide it in. And as you can see, there's a little pin on it right there. You go. And what that'll do is, that'll give you some leverage here to stick this in like that. Bloop, bloop. come on. There's a little hole there. And doing this while I'm watching the camera is kind of difficult. Let's not do it that way. And then you can push down on that little bar that's right there where your index finger is, and it'll go on nicely. The other one is a little more annoying to do if you leave it attached to this, in my opinion. So again, same idea. This is also a little easier to do sometimes if you're not looking at it from the bottom side, because you can get a better view of this from here. When your finger's out of the way, you can really see that just pop in a lot easier when you're over the threshold. And then you can shoot it off the other side of the table, because you're clumsy like I am. But yeah, this is actually not a bad watch band, I gotta say. Again, I paid for it. I got it off of eBay from some anonymous seller. You can just type in Milanese watch band, and if you do it right, it'll actually stay that time. Because my fingers are great. Then you just thread this through here. Now watch me have them on backwards, probably. Maybe not. Oh, you can all see my watch face. Oh well. And then it slides right on the wrist. And it's very easy to mess with one-handed. The magnet, obviously, that's steel. But then you can get it as loose or as tight as you like. And I like it just a little tighter. And the only problem you might have is this is all made of stainless steel. So if you are mildly allergic to that, then you may want to get a nickel variety if they make them. I don't think anyone is allergic to stainless. Some people do have a mild allergy to nickel or copper, though, that you may wish to be careful for. So anyway, that's going to be it for this one. So far, this watch band has held up really well. Very easy to slip on and off without even removing. Let's move this up a little bit. But like I say, very easy to move up and down without really expending much effort at all. And for someone like me, it's not bad. Even though my fingers can be dumb sometimes, that's much easier to set than a regular watch band. So it may be useful if you have an elderly relative, for example, who isn't very good at fidgeting with the buckle that you find on lots of them, or snaps that are on them occasionally, that kind of thing. Or you have someone who doesn't like the elastic ones, for example, because they pull back together and grab at the skin. This will not do any of that. This is very, very smooth. Even the edge of it is very smooth. You're not going to hurt anyone there. It seems to be very tough. And those connectors that go across the pins, I don't think are very expensive at all. So yeah, altogether, I'd have to say this is pretty neat. I thought other people might be interested too. But when you're looking at the watch bands and you're looking at spending 10 to 15 bucks on one of these compared with, 10 bucks for 5 of the rubber ones, it's something to keep in mind that it does have good applications. Also, it's reasonably strong, so it's not going to take much damage that way. Because again, it is stainless steel and it's a mesh. So anyway, that's going to be it for today. Thanks for tuning in, and as always, this has been Reverend JR, signing off.